What's up, party people? We have a new podcast with Joe Wright this week. Joe is a friend from high school. We lost touch after he graduated, and we both went our separate ways. But we saw each other recently at Startup Brew in Fargo, a place for entrepreneurs to connect. And I knew I wanted to get him on the podcast, hear about his sock company, but also fill in the gaps of everything I missed in his life since then. I've seen some of the highlights on social media and his booming sock business, but I wanted to get him in. Got him on this last week, had a great time, kind of just discussing what it's like to be an entrepreneur and his journey getting there. So I think you guys will really enjoy this episode. If you like it, share it, repost it on Instagram, Facebook, your favorite social media, rate it. But I appreciate you enjoy this episode with Joe. He was an awesome guest to have on. And thanks for another listen. You ready?
Born.
Let's go.
Born ready.
Okay, so who are you?
I'm Joe Wright.
Joe Wright. Where are you
want?
from?
How much do you want? Okay.
So we're going to go into, I like to go into like deep detail of your background.
Sweet.
It doesn't have to be extremely deep, but I want to know where you're from, what your early childhood was like. Okay. I want to find out why you are who you are.
Okay.
And, so Joe and I, we knew each other. I would say we were close to each other for like 2 years, like maybe
Fair.
In high school.
Yep.
The
FFA time.
FFA time.
Yeah.
And that was probably
Yep.
about it. But there's a lot I don't know about you.
That's fair.
I've kind of followed you on social media ever since then, so I've seen maybe some of the highlights.
A few things even. That's fair.
But there's a lot that is yet to be known.
Dope. Well, Joe Wright from Kindred.
Yeah.
Well, technically Leonard. We'll say Leonard.
Okay.
I like saying Leonard than Kindred, but a
Yeah.
lot of people don't know where Leonard is.
Yeah.
A
A lot of people don't know where Kindred is either.
No,
so.
that's true. I like to say North Dakota. Maybe just blanket it. Screw it. Whatever. Went to Kindred. Did all that stuff. We'll do a quick overview, and then we'll maybe go back and dabble in the younger Joe stuff.
Okay.
Then went to VCSU for music. Didn't love that. Wasn't learning the things I wanted to learn about music, if that makes sense. Wanted to perform.
What was your major?
Went to communications.
Okay.
Which ended up working perfectly.
Yeah.
When I graduated communications, the plan was to go to master's and end up working in higher ed, kind of like in the enrollment offices, stuff like that.
Okay. Right on.
Yeah, loved the college feel, just kind of a fun vibe. Stuff didn't work out.
Mm-hmm.
Life happened.
Yeah.
Ended up moving in with my sister for a hot minute to get back on my feet, figure out what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
I tried substitute teaching at a small school near Devil's Lake, North Dakota.
Yeah.
In Warwick.
Okay.
That it was a para, did substitute teaching, and then I actually got to teach music for a year. Because in North Dakota, if you have enough credits in a certain content area, they let you have a probationary license.
Yep.
Tried that, didn't love it, but launched Right Foot is the job now.
Yeah.
In March 2019, May 2020, decided to go full time.
Okay, so
which was quick.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's back up. We
Deal.
just covered a lot there.
Yeah.
But so, Leonard, you were out in the country.
Yep.
Were you right off 46?
Yeah, literally like right off 46.
Okay. Was your yard the one that had like the half-buried barn?
Half-buried barn? No.
Okay.
But we're probably not too far from what you're thinking about.
Do you know which one I'm talking about?
I think so.
It's like a mile outside of Kindred or less.
Oh, we're like 10.
Oh,
like
okay.
10 minutes out.
Oh, okay. Then
yeah,
no.
way closer to Leonard.
Yeah. Okay. So I have no idea where you live.
Perfect.
I always thought that was your house for
Okay.
some reason.
If you drive from Kindred to Enderlin, make that drive.
Yeah.
There's an old thrash machine out in the farm, on the field.
Okay.
Where cows are. If you take that left, first farm on the right.
Okay.
So like we're literally like 5 minutes from Leonard. So we're
Right
that
on.
far out
Okay.
there.
So you're way out there.
Yeah.
What was early childhood like? What are some of your first memories?
Running around the farm, getting in trouble, climbing bales.
Yeah.
Good old farm kid stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Not a lot of parent supervision.
No, they good supervision. They just trusted us.
Yeah.
So we're just out there doing our thing.
Mm-hmm. When did you like start working on the farm? Or did you work on the farm?
Our farm is more, I guess, it's more of a hobby farm.
Yeah.
So like we showed pigs, sheep, goats, all of that. My great uncle farms the land around us, so that's what that farmland did.
Yeah.
And then on our little part where the barn was and everything was all the animals and stuff. When I started pretty early, like feeding animals, like the horse and donkey. We fed and did all the chore stuff, I guess, when I was pretty young. So that started pretty quick. And then that really morphed into when we showed, and that developed a lot of my work ethic, I guess.
Yeah.
We started showing pigs and everything, and that was my thing. Like I did the pigs, went out every day, all that fun stuff.
So were you working every day? Even if it's a small bit, like taking the pigs out and stuff?
Yeah.
Do you think like that early ability to work has like pushed throughout your life?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you really dive into it, it's like, because growing up in a 4-H FFA, not only did it work on my talking skills, like there's so much like livestock judging, all the stuff I did. Yeah. But even just on the farm by itself, without 4-H and FFA, going out every day feeding animals. Granted, it wasn't like a dairy farm where it was like 8 a.m. or 5 a.m. get out there, milk the cows, but we still were out there, getting the pigs ready, shaving them, feeding them, making sure the water was good. But yeah, the work ethic started pretty early, and I feel like my parents didn't force us, but it was, if you're gonna have them, you're gonna do it.
So it was your choice to have the animals?
Yeah, especially like the pigs. When we got into the pigs, it was my choice to have the pigs. My sisters started with the lambs, and that morphed into the pigs. Yeah. But our parents were very supportive in everything we did. So if we wanted animals, they're like, yeah, let's try it, but you're going to have to do it. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool.
It's just like, I remember my dad was like, you know, if you're going to get a dog, then you have to pick up all the poop. Yep. And then he ended up picking all the poop. Right. Which, at least that's what he always says. So maybe that's why I remember it that way. Right. But I have I remember it as a gruesome time. Because it was the first time I picked up poop for our first dog, and the bag instantly broke through my hand. No. And I just I went in to grab it, and it just basically just grabbed my hand right on it was like a soft shit. Oh. And so I was like, I can't do this. We gotta get rid of the dog. But no, we quickly came around to him. But so, what kind of chores were you doing every day?
Making sure the feed was good. To a point when I was showing pigs, we put them on a cell feeder, but it was the feed was 18% protein. Like we knew what was going into it. Yeah. So making sure that was full. And then, my big thing, I always wanted to make sure my pigs were well trained, because when you get to the show ring, I was very competitive in the showmanship. I wanted to make sure I was winning that every single time. I didn't care. I wanted to win that. So working with them, using the tapper, working them in the dirt, clean up around there, make sure the water was good. Pigs are pretty easy, but then when you're out there, getting to know them and hanging out, it makes it a lot easier once you get to show ring. Yeah.
What's it what goes into getting an animal ready to show? Because I remember I raised a pig 1 year at Paris's.
Oh, sure.
And that thing hated me, and they all hated everybody that came out there. Fair. But what was that? Getting them used to you, and making them grow accustomed to you, and training them, I guess.
Yeah. So ours was really nice. Well, we had our pigs at a different farm too for a while. Okay. Mark Niesmeyer, and then my last 5 years of showing pigs, we brought them to our place. We had a nice setup where we had a nice garage thing that was out there, and then they walked out into dirt, which I always liked, and it was a step up, so it kind of got to work out when you go one in there. Yeah. But the dirt kept them loose, which I always liked. Okay. But literally, I would go out there. The feed was pretty easy. We got 100-pound bags from Barnesville, dumped it in the cell feeder. They went to town. Went out there, literally just sat down with them, hung out, got super used to me.
There you go.
Went off the tapper. I was out there probably a lot.
Yeah.
And just got used to them. They're just big dogs, really.
Yeah. That's what my mom says. She used to show dairy cattle. Oh. Or dairy cows. And she has many stories of sleeping with cows.
Oh, yeah.
They were her best friends.
I leaned on them, laid on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So you're working with a lot of animals growing up. That's some early memories.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping on hay bales. What's school like for you? Early school memories.
If I didn't go to the principal's office at least once a year, there's something wrong.
Yeah?
I think it was just my mouth.
Okay.
Got me in trouble maybe. Talked too much. Loved the gym, obviously. Enjoyed math, surprisingly, for the most part. Mm-hmm. I don't remember. I was more invested in the people part, the friends part, obviously. What kid doesn't want to just go with his buddies?
Exactly.
Got in trouble most of the time. I calmed down after a bit. Middle school, high school, I think I was more
I remember you as being pretty mellow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Elementary, I was in the principal's office.
Okay.
At least once a year.
Yeah. I also, when I started to get to know you was kind of your junior, senior year.
Yeah.
And that would have been, I remember you having a lot of trouble after your concussion.
Oh, yeah.
And so that
I was getting ready to talk about that.
Yeah.
That really changed me.
Okay.
For the most part.
Mm-hmm. So what happened there?
Let's dive into it.
Yeah, if you're okay talking about it.
No, we're good. I love that. I enjoy talking about it. So, junior year, I was starting on the line because that's when Jack got hurt too.
Okay.
So I was starting, and then when I got hurt, he was actually coming back that next game. But it was half pad practice, of course, on a Thursday, getting ready to go play Grafton, I believe. Dropped back in coverage, playing second team defense, kind of scout defense for our offense.
Mm-hmm.
Dropping back in coverage, and then our nice big running back fullback. Like 230.
Yep.
Sprinting on an in route. I was jogging backwards. He didn't catch it, but he plowed me over.
Yeah.
And our coach at the time said that was one of the biggest hits he's ever seen. And he played for NDSU all those years.
Yeah. That was Kittleson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that, and then I remember just being super foggy after that. I remember talking to a few people, and then went home, and then went in.
Mm-hmm.
Big old concussion.
Yeah.
Got very concussed. I think, I don't know. I got very irritable, a lot of like light sensitivity and all that stuff that comes with concussions. But I also got more. I don't know. I feel like I got looser and like. How do I say that? I'm not looser. Looser is a weird word. But my personality, I think, kind of shifted more goofy.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. I remember you being goofy.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Junior, senior year, I really came into the goofiness. I don't know if that was concussion or what it was, but definitely more so that personality came out junior, senior year, and then just went off from there.
Okay.
But
bad thing or a good thing?
Good thing.
Obviously,
very happy
concussion's not
right.
a good thing.
No,
but...
concussion's not a great thing.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot about myself during that concussion because I went through some really dark times. Tough times just laying in bed.
Yeah.
Not having great thoughts.
Yeah.
I remember doing my baccalaureate speech and talked about that, touched on it. I even rolled a vehicle during that time too, so that messed up my back too. And so tough times junior, senior year, but really developed me into the person I am now.
Yeah.
Very goofy, but still have my dark times because my head still gives me problems here and there. But definitely okay with it happening the way it did.
Yeah. No regrets.
No regrets.
You said you were kind of a troublemaker early on, but coming into middle school and high school, you kind of calmed down a little bit.
I would say so. More so high school time.
Was it kind of after the concussion that you calmed down, or
freshman, sophomore year probably was like slowing it down, not trying to get in much trouble. Still talked a lot, but after the concussion, I don't know. I was still pretty goofy, but it's just matured maybe.
Yeah. What was kind of like recovery like for that? Because definitely like CTE was known about at this time, and concussions were a big deal at this time, but not nearly what they are today.
True.
So,
very true.
Did you have like a regimen to like recover, or
that? My mom once heard someone say that it's tough with a concussion because like you see a broken bone, you know it's broken. You're looking at it, it's broken. But with a brain, it's tough to really know what is going on. I went to a neurologist. We had plenty of tests done, CT, CAT scan, all that stuff. When the headaches got bad, I went to the room, turned the lights off, drank water. That was the best I could do, and just kind of went through it. Went on a lot of medication. Even had to give myself shots with some kind of something or other in it.
Yeah.
None of that stuff really helped. Learned to live with the headaches, which is not great. They've calmed down now, but here and there I'll have a day where it's just I'm not getting anything done.
Okay.
Doctors always said that my concussion may have triggered migraines, or I probably would have had migraines, but the concussion triggered it.
Okay.
So I still get those, but they're not as bad.
Yeah.
I can deal with it if I'm just working through the day and have a headache. It's whatever.
I remember like you couldn't really work out at that time.
No, yeah, because the track, mid-distance was my thing. I was like the 800 runner.
Okay.
And we went to state the year before with like race, and I think Brandon Quibell and I can't remember who our fourth of that leg.
Bachmeier, maybe?
Maybe. That sounds right.
Yeah.
That could be it. But I went to state that year, and then the next year I couldn't do distance.
Yeah.
I got crazy dizzy. Every time I did work out, it got not great.
Bad. Yeah.
Big reason why I didn't wrestle and play football senior year, which sucked. I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, I really wish I could have wrestled. I didn't even wrestle junior year, but those 2 years I probably had a good chance of going to state, which big old bummer. And our senior year when we did go to state with football, how far we got.
Yeah.
A game away, I believe.
Yep.
That was tough.
I remember losing to Shanley.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a rough game.
That was tough.
Yeah.
God, that whole year, I'm so glad I'm happy with my decisions. I'm happy I didn't play. I'm happy that I went with the team to everything. Like I was there, but it sucked. Oh my gosh, it sucked. But yeah,
it was also very cold. The end of the season was very cold.
Yeah.
I remember like vividly.
The Carrington one was tough too.
Yep. That was a snowy game.
Ick.
I remember I believe it was we won in Castleton to make it into the playoffs. Right. And like Jackson Hant and I were like super excited, but we're like, we're not gonna play and we're so cold. Like this sucks. But it's cool, but it sucks.
Right.
Yeah.
To be a part of it.
But no, it was cool for sure.
That was a fun year.
It was
even not playing, I was having a great time.
The first person I ever got tackled by was Jack.
Oh,
and like once I came into 9th grade, it was like the first day of full pads, and it was, you have Scout D, and then you have like the starters going, and it was, I remember vividly getting a handoff from, who was the older Kretschmann? Tanner
Kretschmann. That sounds right.
He was like the second quarterback at the very beginning of the year, and he handed it off to me, and Jack just pushed the Leslie twins apart and just pancaked me. And it was so rough, but
that's a big boy. That's a big boy.
Big boy, and I was like 130.
Oh yeah,
115 at that time. I was very small, but it was rough.
Shoot. Welcome to high school football.
Yeah,
I'm Jack Lakers.
Yeah,
laying on you.
Exactly. I think it was was he an All-American, second team All-American or something like that? Maybe. Yeah, but he's a good player.
Oh yeah. And just a teddy bear. If he listens to this, I want to make sure he
is a teddy bear.
He's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
He doesn't scare me.
Except for when I'm scared for his back when I watch him do some of these lifts on his Instagram sometimes.
Yeah. He's huge.
It looks like his back is gonna fold over his belt and just snap. But
beast.
He's super.
I will be going to watch him at a American or strongman competition someday.
Well, hey, there's some in Fargo.
Is there?
I think there's some at the Civic Center.
I'll be there.
But it's
beast.
wild.
Yeah.
Wild. I thought he was gonna make it to the one in Orlando. But I think it was that was a COVID year. I think 2020.
Sure. Okay.
And so I probably got shut down.
Do you do CrossFit?
Yeah.
Okay. I was pretty sure your sister did.
Yeah. So Michaela started in, so she graduated in 2013. She came back from Aberdeen in 2015 and moved back in with us because she was going to Concordia.
Oh, sure.
And so she started a gym in Fargo at 701, across at 701. And then I remember going, and it was like it's still the same location, sketchy warehouse. I was like, this place, I'm never coming back here. Because they had an Olympic lifting tournament there that Cabe was participating in, and I went and watched. I was like, this place is sketchy. And then I went and watched a competition she did at West Fargo Veterans Memorial.
Okay.
It was early Dakota Games. It's a CrossFit comp they have in town here. And I was like, oh, this looks pretty fun. And then I ended up joining, and I've been doing it ever since. And that was right after I graduated high school.
Okay.
And kind of haven't really looked back. I've been slacking a little bit on going.
Fair.
I've been running and doing jiu-jitsu more now, but
okay. What jiu-jitsu gym do you go to?
Fargo BJJ.
Okay.
It's
I can never. So my buddy Landon does it, but I don't think he goes to that one.
Landon
Freitas, big Hawaiian man.
Oh, do you know if he does nogi? Does he have long hair?
No.
Okay.
No, but I think he goes to the other one. He's told me the name of the gym many times.
ACA?
Probably.
ACA? Peace Garden Grappling Club?
ACA maybe.
ACA. That one's over by Main Avenue.
Okay. I gotta ask him again.
It's right by our CrossFit gym.
Okay.
But kind of by the jail, if you know where that is.
Vaguely.
Yeah. So There's a couple. Maggie, one of my coworkers, goes to ACA as well. She loves it.
Okay.
But
There's
a few now in town.
Okay.
Ours is the original one.
Sure.
And George, he's the owner. He was on a couple of weeks ago on the podcast.
Okay.
And he talked through like kind of like some really good points of like how like if you're going to try it out, like what to do before. So
okay.
Check that one out. You can. But it's super fun.
Yeah.
And it's weird. So I've been coaching CrossFit for like 4 years now.
Okay.
5 years now. And then like I coach track, and I love education and coaching. It's kind of like my thing. Mm-hmm. And you can see when they take you through like this intro class, it's literally just taking you through the warm up. They spend a half hour taking you through what our daily 7-minute warm up is. And I was like, these moves are so fundamental, and I could recognize it right away. And then 2 minutes into class, I was like, I'm doing this forever. And it was the exact same thought process I had for CrossFit. I was like, I'm doing this forever.
Yep.
It's super fun, and it's completely different than anything I've ever done.
Yeah.
And so,
did you ever wrestle in high school?
I did. I was terrible.
Okay.
Terrible. I wrestled from 2nd grade to 8th grade.
Okay.
And I did varsity my 8th grade year.
Gotcha.
I think ours are 112 or 115.
Okay.
Whatever it was that year.
Yep.
And those were I never won a match until I was an 8th grader.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was terrible.
Shoot.
I was terrible. And I've never been super competitive
Sure.
at something I didn't care a lot about. Like I was never super competitive at football. I was never super competitive at track. Mm. Like I found some success when I was a senior, but nothing crazy. But the wrestling was by far the worst. And it would have got better because I got way stronger.
Right.
Once I became like a freshman.
Yep.
So if I would have stuck with it a little bit more, it would have been better, but it's whatever.
Yeah.
I enjoyed my time in it. It was the one sport in high school I remember just dripping in sweat every practice.
Good workout.
Yeah.
Fantastic workout. My goodness.
And I didn't have that appreciation probably until like halfway through college.
Fair.
That type of workout.
Yep.
And then when I got to jiu-jitsu, and it amplifies it because you wear a gi.
Yep. Okay. Sure.
And so it's kind of like wearing a sauna suit. I had that it's immediate.
Yeah.
Appreciation for it. Now it's like not as much because of like conditioned to it a little bit more. But I remember I was a half hour into it because like we went to the warm up, and then I was like 5 minutes into the warm up of the actual class because they just throw you into a class. Okay. It's kind of trial by fire. Yeah. I'm kind of skeptical about it a little bit, but it's just there's not enough people coming in weekly to dedicate a coach to doing a full hour with them. Sure. In my opinion. Without charging them extra for it. But I was drenched. I was like, this is awesome. But haven't really looked back. I think I'm kind of starting in the coaching program for them. Dope. To help coach the white belt classes. Okay. And ideally, I cross my fingers, I'll be a blue belt in like 3 weeks. Okay. Ideally. I don't know for sure, but it'd be cool. Heck yeah. I've put in a little bit of time now, so it'd be a cool reward.
What's left after blue belt? How many?
So I'm a white belt. Okay. And it takes average between like a year to 2 years to get your blue belt, and then longer or shorter depending on the gym you go to and like how they promote. Because there's people at our gym. They started at the same time as I did, but they were there 5-6 days a week. Sure. Multiple hours, and they got promoted like to a blue belt in like 8 months, which good on them. Like I'm not that consistent, so they're savages. But then it goes blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, black belt. But then beyond black belt, there's different stages. Like there's one belt that's only if you're part of the Gracie family. That's sick. Yeah, and so like that, are you familiar with their story at all?
Vaguely, I remember. I'm pretty sure I've heard it before, but
yeah. So they kind of brought Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu to the U.S. and it used to be called Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. Okay. And then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's the exact same thing, but it's just a little bit more acceptable, is what I've heard. It's not as much like fighting. Okay. Like traditional Jiu-Jitsu involves strikes. It involves a lot of like actual combat. Whereas like the sport jiu-jitsu you learn at like Fargo BJJ is without striking. It's more or less just grappling and chokes and using the leverage of somebody else's, using your leverage to like submit somebody or however. But so they have like this Gracie family that like came to the U.S., went across the world, like spread the jiu-jitsu message, and it's kind of like this wild hire.
That's insane.
If you're like their bloodline, you can get that belt, and then if you're a black belt for 40 years, you can get a red belt.
Oh, okay.
And that's wild. Never seen one of those before.
No,
but
dope.
I actually saw a video of a guy getting promoted to it today, and it was another Gracie. So that's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
You have to be in a long time.
40 years.
Yeah. But like, there's some savages that are like. There's this one kid. I train with him twice a week, and like he's at the family wellness at least 3 times a week, lifting with his brother, and then they train at least 3 or 4 times a week at Fargo PJJ, and the older brother is really coming into like his size. And over the last year, he's grown probably 3 inches and probably put on 40 pounds, or maybe not quite 40, but he's gotten jacked. Like his knowledge of jiu-jitsu is way higher than mine. He's been doing it probably, I'd say at least 3 years. But he's just too young to get a blue belt.
Oh,
you have to be 16, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, okay.
And so he's at the last kids belt you can get before being promoted to a blue belt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but he'll be a savage. But then he could probably get his black belt by 25 if he wanted to.
Jeez.
If
that gives you a great opportunity to get that red belt.
Yeah, but that's still 65 before you get it.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a lot of discipline those people have.
No kidding.
And so a lot of people getting red belts are like, oh.
Right.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. It's, let's get back to you.
Deal.
So we're kind of like finishing out high school. What was the end days of high school like for you? What do you remember?
Like getting ready for college?
Yeah, like what were you like, you said back to the right, speech was hard.
Yeah.
But like, were you excited to be graduating to move on to the next chapter?
Yeah. I wasn't, like I liked my high school time, but I wasn't very much like, oh, I love high school, I don't want to leave. I was very much ready for the next step. That summer I showed pig still. So that was my last year. Yeah. My last year. Got ready for college. I don't know. I was kind of going into it just open-minded. Yeah. What college was going to be. Loved it. Absolutely loved my time at VCSU. I grew a ton. Got to do just a bunch of stuff. I was as active as I probably could be. I was probably too active at times. I had too much on my plate.
I feel that.
At VCSU, but it was great. Grew so much. Learned a lot about myself.
Okay. What'd you learn?
The work ethic was big. Knowing what I just really enjoy growing and trying new things, doing new things. Like, went to VCC for music, obviously, so I was in band choir, university singers, quantum brass, just about every music thing you could do. I was in a pep band, all that fun stuff. But then besides that, I was in VCAB, which plans all the activities on campus. Was the president of that for 2.5 years. Brought in all the talent that comes in, all the fun dances, shows, put all that stuff on with that group. I was an RA, Viking ambassador. I didn't do a lot with Viking ambassadors, but I was still part of it. Gave tours and stuff. Worked with Viking orientation. Really developed a lot of leadership skills, which is kind of funny now that I don't have anyone working underneath me. It's just me, but still leading myself, I guess.
Yeah. You said giving tours. Do you remember Ashley Stopworth?
Yeah.
She graduated with me. She was giving a tour. She was part of like NDSU or Bison ambassadors. Sure. And she was giving a tour one day, and I remember like waking up to her giving a tour, and I was sleeping on a couch in the student union, and I slept like right next to like the main walkway through the student union, and she's like, and that's my friend Ty, and I was like, oh, hello. But she just like looked like, I can't believe I know you. But it was good. It was good. So you enjoyed it? Oh yeah, lots going on. But
yeah, VCSU is I highly recommend it. It's kind of It's small, obviously, but like
Yeah.
I had so many opportunities to do a ton of stuff. I got flown to North Carolina for a thing called NACA, which is National Association of Campus Activities. So it was
Okay.
part of VCAB. Went there, and NACA, you go to NACA and you watch performers all day.
Oh.
Like you watch a magician, jugglers, comedians, like during blocks of time.
Yeah.
And then you talk with your cohort about who you want to bring to campus.
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
I was the block booker. So I would go into this meeting about, we'd go over every act. And if you like that act, you would try to find colleges around you who also like that act.
Yeah.
And then like schedule them for like a 5x7 or 3x5 where he would hit 3 schools in 5 days or 5 schools in 7 days.
Yeah.
And because that would bring the price down
Yeah.
of these artists and performers.
That's super cool.
Super fun. Absolutely loved it. And then, so I went to that for a couple of years. And then one year I went to the regional one, like before the NACA, and like selected the artists and stuff that came to NACA. So like you went through hours and hours and hours of tape.
Yeah.
I did that, loved it. And then there's an opportunity to do the national one. So I got to select all of the national performers that would come to the national NACA conference.
Okay.
So I got to go to North Carolina, meet a bunch of cool people, select certain artists that we wanted to bring to the national conference for schools to select from.
Oh.
So that was super fun. Loved that because I wanted to perform for so long, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this is like kind of a neat way to see the other side of it.
Yeah.
Of like what if you want to be an artist, there's many ways you can get paid. Like you can do the college circuit, you can try to be the big stuff. But loved that, and that just does show that VCSU you had those opportunities. You could try whatever you wanted. Loved it.
Okay.
Great time.
Yeah. It sounds like it.
Oh yeah,
I think of Valley City as just like this random road on I-94.
it's fair. It
But
is.
I remember for regional track and going to just driving through it.
Yep.
But so what kind of like, why do you think you took on so much at going into university and kind of taking on so many roles?
That's a good question.
Because I remember that was me in high school. I did everything except for like band and theater.
Yep.
Um,
I just got used to it because you were super busy in high school.
Yeah.
I did like everything too in high school, like band, choir, FFA, 4-H, theater. I just enjoy the busyness. I felt like I was like doing stuff, you know?
Yeah. Is it kind of like the high of always being busy and being kind of like in a flow?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flow's huge.
I remember having that in high school. I joined or started college, started working for Shields. I was working like 30 hours a week at Shields. And I didn't want to join anything. I did intramurals my freshman year for like one in the fall and one in the winter.
Sure.
But I was like, I don't want to join any groups. I don't want to join any clubs. I don't want to do anything, which was very different from my mindset in high school.
Sure.
And definitely my mindset now. Like I'm trying to do everything I can.
Yep.
I was going to try to teach a class at NDU this spring, but at NDSU, but it didn't work out. But it's weird, like constantly filling your schedule to be in a flow. Do you see that like still being part of your life, or did that continue on after?
After college, I
University?
think it slowed down a bit,
Okay.
the flow of it. But then I was working at a school, so it was kind of like I was beat at the end of the day, so I really didn't do much after that. I do notice though when I do have like things on my calendar, like things that are happening, it's a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
I don't get drugged down. I don't go in the lows very often, more in the highs. Like today, this morning, I had a Zoom call with SCORE. SCORE is, I don't know the acronym, but it's a free business help for anyone looking for business help. It's a bunch of retired executives that are like, give you business info, like kind of help lead you through the way. I got hooked up with him a few years ago because I went viral with my business on TikTok. And it was out of inventory. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I got the help from him. Connected really well with Del. His name's Del Carver. He's a guy in North Fargo that does the Fargo stuff. Got connected with him. Now I'm kind of like the SME for SCORE and Fargo, social media expert. I don't know about expert. That's a little aggressive. I'm not that great at social media, but
Are you still on TikTok now?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's the wild area.
Yeah.
280,000
Followers?
over 250,000 followers.
Holy shit.
Nuts.
We have a TikTok person here.
It's exhausting.
It right away, and like if she listens to this, like I'll apologize for this thought, but I'll counter it right away. When she first started, I was like, do you want to work? It's like all you do is look at TikTok all day.
Fair.
But
You have to.
then I got TikTok and I looked at that she's actually putting out like 4 posts a day and coming up with ideas, figuring out what's actually trending and what's not.
That
that's
part,
a lot of work.
finding out what's trending alone is a job.
Yeah. And she came out with an idea yesterday. She's like, this is hot right now. I don't know if it's going to be hot for that long. We have to do it. We have to do one.
You got to jump on
soon.
it.
And
24 hours.
Yeah. It's crazy. But I have a lot more respect for it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a lot of work at editing, especially like making clips for the podcast.
Oh yeah.
Sucks. I'm not a video guy.
That's fair.
That's
totally fair.
I'm a one-on-one talker. But it comes with the role.
Fair. Totally fair.
But
being in the flow though, yeah.
Yeah.
So I do notice when I like get stuff on the calendar, I have meetings with small business friends, and this was a big highlight. I was super stoked for this. But yeah, this morning I had that meeting, and then kind of took the afternoon off, kind of chilled because I just got back from Rochester to see the lady. Yeah, definitely something that I've recently really found out about myself is how nice it is to stay busy, or else I can just sit on the couch, especially as an entrepreneur, because like all my socks are in one room in my apartment, and it's super easy just like, oh hey, there's the couch, I can just go chill if I really want to, but then you feel guilty the rest of the day. But it's ebbs and flows. But definitely need to look at trying to get more stuff on the calendar, because that helps to keep the mind
it's nice
sharp.
To be busy. And I was looking at the calendar. This is the furthest out I've ever planned podcasts. I'm like a month out right now, and I have like 2 weeks for like next month, and I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do here? Because I already feel like my schedule's pretty damn full.
Sure.
But adding in like 2 a week, and then I know that views will be better.
Sure.
If I create social media posts.
Stuff.
And the goal of it is to have people watch it or listen to it.
Yep.
Which you can go both ways on, whether that's a good thing or not. But
Fair.
I like entertaining people.
Oh yeah.
It's not something I would like. The way I interact with people day in and day out, I don't think people would believe me. Fair. But I like producing something to entertain somebody.
Heck yeah.
But it is a lot of work to get the listeners to be on the podcast.
Right.
Obviously, like sharing it and whatnot helps a ton. But
for sure.
I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna dive into TikTok at all.
No.
I'm good with LinkedIn and Instagram.
Yeah.
And
the nice thing is, I actually haven't gone the other way with it, but on TikTok, I create my content on the app, post it, whatever, and then I copy that link from that TikTok, and I go to a website called SnapTik.
Okay.
You enter the link to that, and it downloads your TikTok without the watermark, so you can repurpose that, and I just throw it to Reels.
Oh, right on.
So you double usage of your content.
That's super simple.
It's so nice. I'm sure. I wonder. I've never like downloaded from Instagram. I don't know if they have a watermark too. I think they do, but it might be the same thing where you can find a downloader.
Yeah.
So I make content from one app, honestly.
But it goes to both.
And then it goes to both.
There you go.
And my Instagrams ones have been popping off lately. Like every single video at least gets 10K plus.
Holy shit.
But in the last, I think out of my last 9 videos, I believe 4 of them have gone over 100,000 K or over 300K.
Okay, so since we're here, let's talk about socks.
Yeah.
I want to go into some more, but maybe we'll get there. Actually, let's get there. 2019.
Yep.
Right? You had the idea. Or was 2019 when you had the idea, or is that when it started?
That's when I launched. I launched March 2019.
Okay, so let's go back. When was the first idea of socks, or an idea of being an entrepreneur?
Right. When I got to college, even when I graduated college, I'm going to back up. I didn't know what entrepreneurship really was until I went full time with Right Foot. Mm-hmm. Like I probably heard the word, but I really didn't think about it much. Yeah. I didn't go to school for entrepreneurship. No one goes to school for entrepreneurship. No. And had no idea. Honestly, I didn't know that's what I wanted to do. Yeah. But looking back to when I was younger too, there was little things that I was trying to do to make money, like little side hustles or whatever. Even if we jump back to FFA, my senior year, I won swine entrepreneurship in swine entrepreneurship award in North Dakota as the best swine entrepreneur operation. Okay. So like, it should have been a hint. They're like, hey, you're good at it. Why don't you just keep doing it? Yeah. But then in college, I I started really wearing the fun socks. I think I already wore them, but like I wore them even more and became the sock guy.
Mm-hmm.
Started posting that on Instagram. Got a good traction. It was weird. I enjoyed it. If you want to get a little cheesy, I just think socks are. We'll talk more about why I'm selling socks, but it's kind of a fun way to start your day.
Yeah.
You put on a stupid pair of socks, a silly pair of socks, and you're like, haha, that's fun. And then you're like, have a little bit of a smile when you start your day at least. Start off on a good foot or on the right foot. Listeners. But I really enjoyed it, and that's what really got me in the sock world. When I feel like it was a pretty quick. Came up with a name. It took me a while. It was actually not the first name I came up with. I thought about monkey toe socks because my second toe is longer than my first one. They call it monkey toe.
Okay.
Like, that could be kind of fun, monkey toe socks. And then one morning I woke up, I'm like, you idiot. It's your last name.
Yeah.
Come on. So that's where the Right Foot name came from. It was a pretty quick turnaround. I remember being on just a website that created logos. Mm-hmm. I typed in Right Foot, say what they come up with, and I liked the cursive right and foot. And after that, I stumbled upon a website called Alibaba.com.
Okay, I think I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's been blowing up a lot, and it's very, very convenient. Just a bunch of manufacturers you can talk to. Mm-hmm. I found a couple manufacturers. I was working with 2 at one point, and then brought in a third that I thought maybe, but decided to stick with this one. Worked out well because they've been fantastic to me. And when I first started Right Foot, my manufacturer just had a big old catalog of different designs. Yeah. That I selected from. I like that one. I like that one. That's it. They slapped my packaging on it, sent it to me. Mm-hmm. I started selling them. Started doing pretty good until I had 2 different sock businesses reach out to me and like, hey, you're selling our socks. You need to stop or we're going to sue you. Oh. Because in China, they don't care about copyright. Yeah. All that stuff means nothing. Came overseas. I got threatened with lawsuits. Mm-hmm. So then that's when I started doing all my custom stuff, started really finding what Right Foot was, where I wanted to take it. And when I started with the designs that I got from my manufacturer, to set myself apart, I gave them stupid names, fun names. I shouldn't say stupid. They're not stupid. They're fun. Yeah. But there's like a crown sock. I call it floaty crowny things to reference Fairly Odd Parents. Does every sock got a silly name. Because when you look at other sock businesses, I won't call those out because I don't want to start any beef. But their names are like football sock or it's crown sock. Yeah. It's super boring. And I wanted to set myself apart. So I found that niche and then built off that niche when I dropped Outer Space was like the Right Foot sock that really like, this is what Right Foot is. This is the way I'm going to go. Okay. I don't remember when I released that. I should look at the date when I dropped those because that's what really set me on the path of the puns, the silliness that really blew me up. Yeah. At the time I went full time. So now we're in May 2020, because I was teaching the COVID year, and I'm someone so dumb. It was bad. It was tough. Oh my gosh, because I didn't go to school for teaching. I think I took 2 education classes because I was going to teach for a while. I took Intro to Ed, and then I took one brass methods because I was going to teach music. So I took the class how you teach brass instruments to kids. Okay, which is good. And I took vocal lessons for a while too, or how to teach vocal to kids. Mm-hmm. I took vocal lessons the whole time I was there and all that stuff, but I had a little bit of an idea how to teach music, but nothing compared to what I should. Yeah. And I'm so grateful for Warwick giving me the chance to teach music for that year. Mm-hmm. But halfway through, I was like, this isn't for me. Yeah. My sister saw it because I was just dragging all the time. She's like, figure it out. What do you want to do? I was like, oh, I don't know. But at the time, the woman I was with was like, hey, if you want to try it full time, I think like if I have to pay for stuff, fine. Like if money's tight, we'll figure it out. So I was grateful for that. At that time, we went to Park Rapids because I did decide like, okay, I'm not going to teach. I'm going to save some money. I'm going to take this full time and see what happens. Moved to Park Rapids because that's where she had her job. And then it was kind of a nice incubation time. I tell people for Right Foot because I didn't know anybody there. I did no friends in Park Rapids. Like there was nothing for me to do there. It wasn't my vibe. It was a lot of like hunting and fishing, and I'm just it's not my style. I used to. Now I'm just don't. I fish still, but not as often as I used to. It's a very like lake oriented city. Very much so. Kind of like the redneck, either you're snowmobiling, hunting, or fishing. Exactly. Yeah. And it wasn't my vibe. It just wasn't my thing.
Yeah.
It's a great town. It's a really fun touristy town during the summer too. They like a huge downtown like road where they park in the middle of the street, and they had like free concerts all the time, and it's a fun town. I really I owe a lot to Park Rapids for Right Foot because I was grinding, making TikToks, doing what I do, growing Right Foot, and that's when I popped off. That's when it's like skyrocketed. Because January, I think it was 21st, 2021, posted a TikTok that was about 6 seconds long. Got, I believe it's sitting at over 7 million views.
Holy shit.
Nuts. I had about 500 orders in 24 hours. Made about $12,000. I'm like, here we go. Like it's possible to be this.
Yeah.
Actually can be my full time job.
Keep going at that point.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So did you have enough volume to sell those socks?
I did.
Okay.
I sold out just about everything. Hence calling Score. I'm like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Well, I did, but I didn't. Like, I was like, I need to find inventory. The thing that really set me back and made me panic the most, though, is my manufacturers on Chinese New Year's.
Yeah.
So I couldn't get any socks. And it was COVID, too, so it shut them down longer.
Yeah.
I believe. Yeah, if I remember right. So I just couldn't get socks in general. So I had like 2 really bad months after that just because I didn't have anything to sell.
Mm-hmm.
But when I went viral, luckily my buddy Tyler came, packed up a bunch of socks. Took like 8 trips to the post office of like 3 things full of packages every single day. It was nuts. Went viral Thursday, finally cut up Tuesday. And that's just like continuous work. But after that, I think I went from like 10,000 followers on TikTok, which I was stoked for, like cool, sweet, to about like 160 in 24 hours.
So it dropped.
Went up 160,000, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Zeros.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So it jumped me from like maybe 10K to 20K. I don't know how many I had before, but jumped me 160,000. Now I'm at 280,000. Incredibly grateful for that one video. It was a little guilt trippy, but marketing's marketing, and I sold socks. So I mean, whatever. My socks aren't guilt trippy. They're fun. People figure out what the business is. They know what it is. But yeah, after that, I was like, okay. I mean, I was feeling pretty confident too, because like that same day, actually, when I went viral, I called my buddy Tyler, and I was like, I might hit 10K in sales this month, which is, I didn't think possible. Make $10,000 in 1 month. I'm like, I might do this.
If you don't mind me asking, is that 10K revenue or profit?
Revenue.
Okay.
Yeah, revenue.
So
profit, still pretty, I don't know. Because I'm not, I don't,
are
I
you
have
able to
pretty
make
small
like
overhead.
good margins on your product? Okay.
Yeah. I'm making well over 100%.
Oh, damn. Right on.
Stocks. Making my money back and then doubling it at least. Yeah.
That's cool.
I was trying to figure that out yesterday, actually, how much exactly I'm making, but we're doing good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's super cool.
It's fantastic.
It's
grateful.
Is wild what social media can do for a company.
Mm-hmm.
And
if
you
you're
have
not
to
on
be so
social media,
grateful.
you have to.
Yeah.
Incredibly grateful. That video had no right going for 7 million views.
Yeah.
But
it did.
Struck a chord.
Is it
crazy.
still increasing?
No, it's called. I haven't scrolled back that far lately. I should go look.
Okay.
But I'm sure it's still getting views. But
yeah.
And then since then I've had probably 5 or 6 hit the 500,000 plus, and then one other one hit the million.
Wow.
But usually I'm hitting 10K, but it's ebbs and flows with TikTok. Like right now, all my posts are getting like between 1 and 5,000, which is crazy. Like the following I have, if it showed it to 1/16th of my followers, I'd be hitting 10K views every single time.
Yeah.
But it just depends on the video and
that's weird.
What's getting pushed and it's goofy.
Whatever.
Right? I don't get it. I'm grateful, and I'm gonna keep posting because it just happens.
Yeah.
But at my Instagram Reels right now, I'm hitting 10K every day. This morning I posted one. I think it's already at 12,000 views.
Damn. No.
That's the same stuff I post on TikTok. I don't get it.
The numbers of like if you put out like a new, you're like I'm sure you do like a new product post or something like that.
Yep.
Are your followers like loyal in like purchasing?
Yeah.
Or
I have quite a few very loyal customers.
That's super cool.
It's crazy. It's super neat. It's a really fun little community that's underneath me that supports me, and I'm incredibly grateful. There's so many people that support it on TikTok. I'll go through comments, and there's quite a few people that I'm like, oh yeah,
right on.
It's super cool. And the really fun thing is like that community in Fargo. Fargo's been crazy good to me.
Really?
Vendor shows, people walk by, hey, sock guy.
There we go.
Get it all the time. It's so great.
That's cool.
Such a great community to be in Fargo.
Yeah. What's like your kind of goal with the company? Do you have a goal outside of creating silly names and silly socks and silly apparel?
Right. That's what I'm kind of just trying to vibe right now. Make money to have a place to eat, stay, things to eat. Making sure my core things are taken care of. And make money just to have a fun life and do what I want.
Yeah.
I would love to do brick and mortar and like grow and maybe like do some business coaching, do some other things, start other businesses. Might have a chance to do some more brick and mortar stuff. We'll see what happens there if it shakes out. But
So when you say like brick and mortar, like your own store or like into stores?
both.
Okay.
It would be fantastic to have my own store. It's terrifying to do brick and mortar. A lot more overhead because right now my overhead is my apartment.
Retail is so hard right now.
And it's insane.
Yeah.
Getting into trying to do wholesale stuff is just nuts. Trying to find the buyer, convince them to sell your product.
Yeah.
Because I'm only in 5-6 stores across the country.
What stores?
Halberstadt's.
Okay.
Which is the biggest one.
Yeah.
They've been great to me. There's a catfish location they sell like a restaurant in Kansas City, Kansas, and they bought my catfish socks. They have a cat in a fish costume.
Okay.
There's a little spot in Montana that sells my stuff. Oh man, I'm drawing a blank.
What's your approach for like reaching out to these people?
I try to find novelty shops.
Yeah.
And then I shoot them. I usually go to. I use Instagram a lot for those.
Okay.
Because they're pretty decent following. I don't know. TikTok is tough to like message people. I think sometimes it's kind of a weird app to approach. But Instagram, I feel more comfortable approaching people.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, do you want to sell my socks? Like, I kind of look at what they sell. I'm like, hey, I think my socks will work really well for you. I'm very, I'm punny socks. Like, I'm kind of different. Like, and you sell novelty socks. You know?
Would you ever do like a sock that is custom?
I got to. I've been doing more of those. I think that'd be a really fun one. Thunder and I have talked about it.
Yeah,
we actually got mock-ups for them.
I was gonna say that seems like a good
I'll show you those
company
before I
for you.
leave today.
Okay.
They look really nice, but it kind of got pushed back because of they weren't moving in yet.
Yep.
They wanted to shoot for holiday season to sell them, and then things got off and things happen.
Yeah.
Thunder's is close. We have talked to Drecker a few times. We're gonna make socks for them.
Right
hopefully.
I love Drecker.
Oh my gosh, they're crushing it.
Have
so
you
good.
had any of their? It was their Christmas cookie ice cream.
No.
It was the best ice cream I've ever had in my life.
Dang,
Without a
amazing.
doubt, it was so
Yeah?
good.
Dang.
And it was boozy too, so that was fun.
Fantastic. That makes it better.
Yeah.
Fantastic. But other custom ones I did. There's a brewery in Valley City I did with Rock Up. I made custom socks for them.
Okay.
They're new.
I feel like a
the last
brewery
few
would be
years.
a perfect.
It's I try to reach out to as many breweries as possible. Like, hey,
Okay.
let's make socks for you. I'm hoping once Drecker and I get some stuff done, that'll really help promote. Like, hey, I do custom stuff. Let's work together. Did custom socks for them. Early in my right foot journey, I did custom socks for Cuckoo Kangaroo.
Okay.
If you ever heard of them,
Never
they're
heard of
a band from Minnesota. They make a lot of kid music and like
Okay.
kid videos and stuff, but they also play at like bars for adults.
Okay.
They're super cool dudes. Made them custom socks early in that. I just made custom socks for the North Dakota Soybean Council.
Okay.
Of North Dakota and the North Dakota Corn Council. Made both of them custom socks. They turned out great.
Are those connections from like
Those
that's
actually
a connection from like Startup Brew?
Yeah, those
Okay.
two were. The soybean one, like, hey, we saw you at Startup Brew. You
Yeah.
want to make socks? I'm like, cool. And then the corn one came from soybeans because they were talking because the buildings are right next to each other.
Oh, okay.
So it just worked out that
That's super cool.
yeah, incredible. And honestly, Thunder, the connection with Thunder was from Startup Brew.
Yeah.
Startup Brew also had the connection with Drecker because we were at Drecker. So I like walked in, I'm like, hey, I'm Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Let's make socks. And then they were actually talking to a different sock guy. I thought they were cheating on me, but it's fine. They left him and came with me. Hopefully, I haven't made them socks yet, but I'm hoping.
You will.
Drecker socks would be so cool.
You just gotta make. It would be hard just to make like one pair and be like, here you go.
My manufacturer will send me samples.
Oh,
So I
okay.
probably should just do that.
Yeah.
Because the Thunder ones, I probably could get samples of and sent. Because my manufacturer made samples for Thunder, a green one and a mustard one. But like that mustard that kind of matches that hat they sell.
Yep.
And it looks really good, and they loved them, but we just kind of things got lost, and
Yep.
I'm not gonna bother them. They have
a lot
so
going
much
on.
stuff going on. Oh my gosh, trying to find the employment for both spots, I'm sure is chaos, and getting stuff moved, set up the way you want it.
Yeah.
I think I was talking to Skylar.
Yeah.
Is that the beard one?
Yep.
Yeah.
The older one.
Yeah. Dex has the burgers.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. Talking to Skylar, and he was telling me the journey he had with like the spot in the building, like where you want outlets, how you want it set up, and that's a lot to think about when you.
It's a lot to think about.
Because that's a big taking on, big thing to take on when you have 2 locations, but also trying to set something up in this location that has so many people. That place is gonna be crazy busy.
Like right away, it's gonna be insane there.
Yep.
Because did you go to Director Fest or anything like that?
No.
So we went to Director Fest at like noon, and it was completely full, packed. Everything was like, it was like solidly busy. And then we came back. We're like, okay, this seems like a little much. Like, I don't want to be here right now. But there was a concert that night I really wanted to go to. It's like the only band I want to see in person. It's called May Simpson. Okay. Super small. I saw them at Dempsey's one time. I was like, this is fun.
Sweet.
And then they came back like 2 years later and they performed at Director Fest. And I'm not really a live music person. I'd rather just like be on my couch. And Spotify does a really good job. But
great. Love me some Spotify.
Exactly. And I'm not getting bumped on or something like that.
Beer spilled on you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I feel that.
The singer does a great job in person.
Sure.
And like their music.
Listening to a good singer live.
Exactly.
It's different.
And the song on Spotify, the same song I really like, it's called Special.
Okay.
And it's really good in person. It's good online.
Right.
But like she performs so well. And she has this saxophone player.
Ooh.
And he's this old guy, but he just gets so into it. He looks like Santa Claus, but in a Hawaiian shirt.
Fantastic.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. It's really cool to watch him play.
I bet.
But,
that sounds sick.
Yeah. And so we came back later in the day, and I was like, this is much more our vibe.
Sure.
It was like a circus earlier in the day. Like an actual like circus.
Put on a show.
Yeah.
Trekker. I'm going to their Hot Dish Festival in February.
Okay.
And I'm stoked.
That's
stoked.
It's insane how popular that event is.
The tickets are sold out.
Yeah.
Like
a couple months ago. Yeah. I thought.
Yeah. I bought mine the day it came out. Because I was like, I'm not missing this. I remember missing it last year and I was pissed. I'm like, damn it.
We went to their drag show probably about 4 months ago.
Okay. I didn't know
that was fun.
I bet.
It's the second one I've heard of since I've been back in Fargo. And it was a great drag show.
Yeah.
And they made some good food. They also have a mimosa beer that they only do at their drag shows.
Oh.
Very good.
Interesting.
That's a very good beer.
Nice. I'm a big fan of their plop line.
Yep.
Their brains line. And if I'm feeling, I gotta be in the mood for the Broken Rudder. I have to be in the mood for a dark beer in general. But, so good. Such good work.
I've been trying to get hair on my chest, so I'll drink like the 14% beers that come in the little cup. I'm a man. So I can drink strong man. Yeah, drink my double shot of espresso. Yeah. Just trying to get some chest hairs. I just want like 5, you know.
Right? Something. Something.
But no, it's a great place.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited to see that play when it opens. It's gonna be so sweet.
When you were like 2019 to 2020, before you went, and maybe till now, I guess, what has been like the worst thing that has happened? I guess you maybe said it with getting sued, but
yeah, threatened.
Yeah.
Yeah, those sucked. The first one, I really want to call their name up, but I'm not going to. I'm going to be the bigger person. Okay. They reached out and like, hey, you're selling our socks. Please stop. I'm like, oh shoot. So like, I didn't know. Shit, sorry. So I took those socks off. It was fine. The second one was way more aggressive. They actually shut my website down for a full day. Oh, and damn. I was livid. I was like, are you serious? Like, just give me some time to like get the socks off. I'll take them off. I don't care. That's fine. Like, I messed up. I'm going to own it. But I try to, every time like that stuff happens, another thing that happened was like the inventory. Sometimes I get kind of low on, but ever since like, I got that figured out now. But when those two things happened, the second one really hurt. I was like, am I supposed to be doing this? This is tough. But I looked at it as these sock companies are obviously finding me.
Yeah.
So I'm doing something right to get in front of sock people. Like things are working out. The second one was tough, but besides that, it's been every January, February, March, April is tough. Just because you're after the shopping season, no one really wants to buy stuff.
Yep.
I can't blame them.
Yep. So
those have been tough. This year I'm handling a lot better. Things are going better than they did last January. But during this time, it's more of like maybe trying to find custom socks, like doing with these businesses. Those are tough times, but if I can get through January, February, March, we're good to go the rest of the year because vendor shows come back.
Yeah.
There's events you can go to.
Do you ever like advertise custom stuff?
I try to.
Because I feel like a big thing you could do would be something like, obviously I'm not an apparel expert, dude. It's taken me a month and a half to try to order T-shirts for this stupid podcast. It's such a pain in the ass to get it done.
Who do you go through?
Well, that's what I've just been trying to figure out.
Oh,
but
great people to work with. First Avenue Promo. That's where I get this done.
Okay.
They're actually the same building as Junkyard and Soul Avenue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
there.
I finally ordered them, approved the artwork today.
Dope.
And it's I can show you that the shirt came out super cool. Yeah. I talked about it on the last podcast, but
sick.
It was a collaboration of two Emma Maddock.
Oh, sick.
She does my graphic design.
Okay.
And then so she did the logo for the podcast, and then she did the logo for the shirts. And my buddy drew up we were ad director, and we're like, I need to come up with an idea. And it'll be an upside down question mark. So kind of like, the questions of what's your why.
Yep.
And then at the very end of the question mark, you have the initials of the podcast, the WYW.
Yep.
And then the top, instead of just being a period, is a sun, because hopefully, put this in quotes, like you're being enlightened from listening.
I see it.
But it looks dope. It's a super comfy shirt.
That's all that matters.
And it's coming from Lake Shirts.
Oh.
Out of DL. So
if you're gonna go through anybody, Lake Shirts, they're huge.
Yeah.
They have the NCAA contract. They do like all college stuff.
Oh, really?
All of the colleges stuff. Like all colleges.
Holy shit.
They're huge. And it's in Detroit Lakes.
Yeah.
They're nuts. Holy cow. I don't go through them. Maybe I should. I don't know. But I really like the people I work with.
The sales lady I've worked with has been so nice.
Yeah.
And I went through two other places. One was called Full Source.
Okay.
And they were a pain in the ass. Yeah. They would have saved like $3 per shirt. But I'm not doing that big of an order. It's like the bare minimum. Yeah. Because I don't know if anybody's gonna buy them.
Yeah. I still have issues buying shirts for my business.
Yeah.
And I'm in the apparel business. Like I sell stuff, but t-shirts, I don't know. Whenever you add, like when I have with my t-shirts and hoodies, I still kind of like, it's still brand new really. Like it's a new product. It's almost starting like a new business, trying to sell t-shirts. I have kids socks, but those have been slow. It's like a brand new business. Yeah. That you have to market. Because obviously everyone knows about the socks, but like, I'm should market it maybe more, but.
Yeah. Well, I feel like socks are such an impulse buy. Yep. And is that what you kind of bank on a little bit? That's cool.
Yep. Impulse and holidays.
Oh, okay.
Big time. My Christmas and the holiday season, they're huge, but my Halloween socks do really well every year. Okay. They just pop off.
Is it like, do you have like one custom design, or do you like try to make a unique design every time?
I do. So usually last Christmas I went hard, or holiday season. I don't like taking Christmas. I just don't want to be, I always say happy holidays. But 2 Christmases ago I dropped like 4 or 5 designs, new designs. This year I dropped 2 new ones. This last Halloween I dropped 1. It was boobies. And it was 2 bees with ghost costumes.
Nice.
And they sold like crazy. 2 of my best selling socks are going to be that one. And then another one I called Attempted Murder. And it's a crow holding a knife.
Nice.
That one I sell tons of. It's like 3rd right now maybe of all my all-time best sellers. Okay. And I released it 2 Halloweens ago. Oh, wow. It is crazy good. But people like the sassiness. Like I have one called Flipping the Bird. And it's a pigeon flipping you off.
I like that one.
That one does extremely well. I have a flamingo one that does really well. I just got a raven one done. A group of ravens is called Unkindness. So that's what I'm going to call it. I'm just going to call it Unkindness because he's flipping you off.
That's what a group of ravens is called? Yeah.
And then a group of crows is a murder. So that's why it's Attempted Murder. Oh. Group of crows is, a group of ravens is Unkindness. So that's what that name's going to be. And then another one I'm really excited about that I came up with a buddy of mine is a group of unicorns is called A Blessing. Really? So I slapped a pair of sunglasses on a pair of sunglasses on a unicorn. I'm going to call it a unicorn in disguise, or blessing in disguise.
That's cool.
All right?
That's funny.
So we're throwing in some learning too as we make socks.
How about like plurals of animals? Ooh. What has been like the coolest part so far?
It being my full-time gig.
Yeah.
Like when people ask me what I do for a living, I'm like, I sell socks. That's it.
Your own socks.
My own socks, my custom socks. It's just, I'm crazy grateful that it can be my full-time gig. It's super cool. Some other cool highlights. Went on North Dakota today twice, the morning show. That was a pretty cool experience. Starting at a startup brew was crazy cool. I kind of felt like that was my, like, you made it as an entrepreneur. I'm still have no idea what I'm doing half the time. Yeah. But it was still really fun to be like, yeah, like I'm a entrepreneur in Fargo, and people, it's such a great community. I absolutely love it here. Once I make the Thunder and Drecker ones, that'll be big moments, super big moments for me. But yeah, telling people I'm an entrepreneur is neat. Yeah. Really neat.
That is cool.
Goodness.
Have you ever seen somebody like out in the wild wearing your apparel?
A lot.
Yeah.
And I will never get over it.
What was the first time?
Freaks me out every time.
Did you go talk to him?
No, I should do it more, but I don't want to be cringy. I'm like, hey, where'd you get those socks? I don't want to be like.
I think it'd be cool to be like, those are my socks.
Right.
Like, that's for my company. I think they, unless they're like squeamish towards like strangers.
That's fair.
You know, I think it'd be cool. Maybe not in like 2020.
Right.
It would have been a little bit different.
Yeah.
Now it's 2022 or 2023. Holy shit. A little bit different now. Yeah. But
now that you said that, another really cool experience, whatever I'm at vendor shows, the one thing that's really cool is when people recognize me, like, it's a sock guy. I'm like, I'm like, that's going to be my license plate. I've decided it's a sock guy. It's perfect. Another cool experience is whenever they're wearing my socks when they come to my vendor. When then they come to my booth, because they're stoked and they like, slap their leg up and like, look, I'm like, yeah. We have a little celebration. It's fantastic.
Do you throw your leg up there too?
I do. Oh yeah, every time. I've gotten really good at that. I'm like, make sure my flexibility is good. Yeah. So I'm hitting the gym more. So it's been good.
What do you train for? I put my leg on a table.
Exactly. That's it. Make sure the calves are good.
Yep.
I don't care about the hamstring. That's fine. But
you just got these massive calves.
Huge calves.
For vendor shows.
For vendor shows. Show off my socks.
That's
and
awesome.
People would ask me if it's just the calves. I'm like, yeah, because I sell socks. You have to look good.
So do you ever have like aspirations of making like different kinds of socks? Of like maybe like an athletic sock?
Or athletic sock or a cotton sock. Or they are cotton, but like a wool sock. Yeah. It's crossed my mind. Or ankle socks even I've dabbled with. Maybe this year I'll do more ankle or something. But I was talking to someone about athletic socks the other day. I think it was my friend Alex. I don't know, but maybe. I don't want to get too saturated on my website though.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because even with like my kids' hoodies, because I even had stickers on there, and it just was so much stuff in the drop down menu when you hit it, and like it's just kind of aggressive. And I don't like clutter. Like when you come to my website, I want to make sure you can just boop, 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 nice and easy. Yeah. Because there's some you go to. Because actually, another big bummer. I wasn't a big bummer. I pivoted, got used to it. But 2 orders ago, my socks came in with the wrong branding. And it was like Fitted Pair, I think, was the branding on it. But it was like the cardboard I use, and like, but it's just the wrong branding. I was like, that's my manufacturer. I'm like, hey, this is not my branding. Like, this is not okay. He's like, oh my gosh. But it worked out. They sent me a ton of my own branding and then a tagging gun. Yeah. So I got figured out. But then I went to that website actually, and they were selling the socks I used to sell. So I was like, the ones that are, you'll get threatened with a lawsuit. And it was also super cluttery. And I'm like, I definitely don't want my website to look like this. Yeah. But right now it's socks, t-shirts, hoodies. So it's like 3 drop-down menus. I might add stickers back, but we'll see. That's cool. But if it's less cluttered, so if anyone wants to start an apparel business and wants to make sure they're doing good, don't make it cluttery. Yeah. Simple, better.
Right on.
Make it customer friendly.
What are like 2 of the biggest lessons you think you've learned? Or maybe the biggest lesson you've learned as an entrepreneur?
Don't be hard on yourself, which is just hard for me in general. Because like for like my whole life, I've been hard on myself, way too hard on myself. Trying to take one day at a time. That's what my dad has always told me, take it one day at a time. Just don't get too worked up. Still working on that. That's tough. Yeah. But I'm getting better. But definitely taking it easy on yourself and growing and not taking it too serious. I mean, you can't really take it serious when you sell socks, right?
Especially goofy socks.
It's a goofy sock. Come on. Yeah. But definitely, like, I've been reflecting a lot lately about, like addressing the anxiety I'm feeling. Like, why am I feeling like this? Like, am I in danger? No. Like, is this thing going to derail my business? No. So trying to keep a level head of, like, not getting overwhelmed by little things and making sure I'm keeping a clear head and just kind of take one day at a time, take everything as it comes.
Yeah.
But we'll learn more about that every day.
Right on.
Especially with the flow, like we talked about earlier. Like I'm definitely gonna look at that more, and because like when I have like certain things scheduled during the day, and like I have this at this time, I feel like a businessman. Like I'm like, oh yeah, look at me go.
My calendar's full.
I can't do coffee today. I'm too busy. But
I have
always so
this
refreshing.
nice mustache. You
Exactly.
think I have time for you?
Exactly. Respect the stash. Come on. But yeah, the flow is. I'm gonna really look into that because that struck a chord today. Now that we talked about it, because I felt good this morning. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna talk to this Zoom group, talk about my business, and I have a podcast talking about my business.
Yeah,
and it always feels good, and like talking to like-minded entrepreneurs and like people who are pursuing like podcasts and stuff. Just the creativity and like it's great conversations to have. Like I have a coffee next Tuesday with my waffle buddy Ibby, and I'm stoked for it.
He's the guy who does the Windsor waffles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. He'd be a fun one to bring on.
That's what I think it was Skylar who told me that. I've never met him before. I think I've seen him.
Super good, dude.
Actually, I think you introduced me to him at
yeah. He was there. Yep.
Startup Brew.
Yep.
And then he got sidetracked, and I got sidetracked because I had to go watch my boss speak or something like that.
That's
you
fair.
know,
Yeah,
he's trying to be all official that day. Whatever.
Another good one I was thinking about as I was driving in. There's 2 artists in Fargo that I've become pretty good friends with. Elizabeth, who does emo arts, and Hannah. Hannah is talks about empowerment and stuff.
Okay.
Super fun lady. Both would be a great one to bring on too. But I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job.
You should. No, I'm always looking for guests, and I'm trying to. I've realized that the more consistent I am, I think there's something in like the Apple or Spotify algorithm that will push you to the top of your listeners. Like not their individual chart, but like on Spotify, you don't rate the podcasts that you have, but they'll show up if you listen to it more often. They'll show up at the top of your thing.
Sure. So if you have more content.
So if I have more content, it seems the downloads seem to go up and up and up. And I want people to be entertained, you know?
For sure.
That's a goal of mine, is like make people happy.
Okay.
And
that's why I sell socks.
Yeah. And it's like, it's not a serious podcast.
Right.
I like to hear about people's lives. I like to hear about what their why is. You know, it all came from doing my grad school stuff, of learning why people teach and
very cool.
why they coach sports.
So you have a master's in
agricultural education.
Okay.
So
very cool.
Like what Brooke Thiel's path.
Yep.
Except for no PhD.
Sure.
So exact same path, pretty much.
Okay. Do you want to go into that? Go back to that?
I go back and forth.
Fair.
I'm not a huge fan of academia and like where the path has kind of gone. But at the same time,
teaching is tough right now.
If you want to, I would love to be in a university.
Oh.
I don't want to go through tenure though.
Fair.
I really in kind of shooting myself in the foot for not taking the teaching position. I did it mostly because my boss didn't want me to. I know he's not going to listen to this. And I'm really going to shoot myself in the foot if he does.
A little bit.
But it was mostly because he didn't want me to. And I was like kind of having second thoughts if I'm overwhelming myself.
Where was the teaching position at?
NDSU.
Oh,
so I would have taught a class at NDSU.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
The pay was super small for the amount of time. It was just under $3,000 for
like a full semester.
Yeah, for a full semester, 3 hours of teaching per week. And it seemed like just such a little bit. Because, you know, it's 3 hours of teaching, but it's also a minimum an hour of prep.
Minimum.
Per week.
Yeah.
And I would have got all the content given to me, but...
You still got to prepare. There's a lot of time.
Still got to prepare if you want to do a good job.
Exactly.
But...
And you seem the type not to half-ass.
Yeah, I don't want to half-ass something like that.
Same.
Especially when somebody's paying for it.
And then there's people on the other side, too, that are trying to get that content from you.
Exactly. They're paying for it.
Exactly.
I don't want to put out a product that's like my podcast is just for fun.
Right.
If I ever make $1 from it, that's cool. But I do it because I enjoy it one-on-one conversations. Sure. I love doing my research for grad school. And that's what pushed me to do it.
Okay.
I was experiencing a lack of flow when I moved back here.
I need to get more flow.
I needed.
You keep talking about it, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
it's what I need.
We talked about it a lot on my podcast with Ryan Bresner, and his flow. He's always been searching it. he was in it, competing in like baseball in college and high school, trying to get to collegiate baseball, and then he had it with CrossFit when he started coaching here, and then because he ran our gym for a while as like a full-time coach and manager of the gym, and then now he opened his own business and like working for the business he's currently in. He hasn't gone full-time for himself yet, I don't think. At least when we did the podcast he wasn't.
Sure.
But for that and doing his own business, a state of flow, managing his family life with his 2 kids and his wife, and then also helping these businesses succeed. You know, he talks about how the flow state's so big for him, and I completely agree. Like I was in a great flow when I was student teaching. I loved my life. It was so busy, but I was like coaching at 5 a.m. at CrossFit for an hour and a half. Then I would drive out to Wyndmere, student teach until 3:30. Then I would drive to Kindred to coach track. And then if I didn't coach track at Kindred, I would go to Red Lobster and work. And then every Saturday and Sunday, I worked a double shift both days.
Okay.
And then at Red Lobster so I could make some money.
Yep.
And I didn't have a day off. And I looked at it. I didn't have a single day off besides one snow day at Wyndmere for over 2 months.
Wow.
And so it was like 60 days in a row of doing something every single day.
And routine is huge for me.
Yeah, and
when you're waking up 5
makes you
a.m.
used to it. Yep. And I shaved every other day. That was a big, like I shaved yesterday, but which is rare for me. Usually I have a bunch of peach fuzz, but it was just something like I liked shaving because it meant I was waking up on time, I was doing what I was supposed to, and I didn't go like every other day without shaving. Sure. And I felt like I was like, I'm a professional, I'm getting stuff done. And then I got to grad school, and right away I was fucking busy at grad school because
I'm sure
it was interning at one CrossFit gym, coaching at a different one, and moving into just coaching at the one, but doing grad school stuff, working at Red Lobster. And I was like getting back into it, and then COVID hit, and then I got like nothing except for grad school for a while. Right. And COVID was way worse down there with just restrictions and whatnot.
Sure.
And so our gym didn't open up for 3 months. It was really restricted, and then got back here and just worked here, and then now I'm getting back into it. It's fun. It's training more, learning more. You know, it's fun.
Okay.
Podcast is fun. But I think it's you get so much more done.
Yep. And when you get stuff done, you feel better instead of sitting on your couch.
Yeah.
Today I sat on my couch a little too long, but I also feel good about waking up early this morning and getting that first conversation in on Zoom. And this one I was really looking forward to. Like, I think we're planning on hitting the gym after this.
There you go.
We'll see. The routine is big for me. I was even telling my girlfriend a couple days ago, like when I was in Rochester, I was off. I was like just kind of like irritable and like, I don't know. I was not me.
Yeah.
And like a big thing for me is the routine, like waking up, seeing my cats, going to work in the soccer room, hitting the gym, like seeing friends and stuff that I usually do. And once it's thrown off, I really take a step back. It just you get off.
I agree.
It's big, the flow, the routine.
Yeah.
I
think it's a good spot to cut it off.
Deal.
I want you to give yourself a promo.
Deal.
Something that you can maybe take a clip and put on your social media if you want to.
Ooh.
You could like look into the cameras.
If I was funny at any point, I'm gonna clip that.
I'll give you any clip throughout the whole thing. So I can't do the whole thing because it would just take it's hard to send that.
No, that's fine. But like a couple reels or TikToks, I could.
Yeah, for sure.
Use
I gave Izzy
or on Facebook.
Izzy was posted yesterday, and I gave her like 3 videos that I thought were good ones.
Okay.
I wrote down a few notes here for clips.
Cool.
I have to go find them.
That's fine.
Throughout the video,
dude,
but
yeah, you're lighting a fire underneath me. I think it would be fun to have a podcast.
So let's see here. We'll give you so Joe is gonna give his however long spiel on why to go to the right foot.
Buy right foot.
Why to buy right foot? What's the right moves to buying from right foot?
What you need to do is go to Safari, type in rightfoot.net, and buy the socks that speak to you.
Describe your shirt.
Boom. This is called Wino.
I think it's pretty
Very proud of
self-explanatory.
myself, right?
Yeah.
Very proud of that.
We'll take the camera and give
That
a
was
little zoom there.
That was an early right foot. I was very proud of it.
That's a
I like
good
the
one.
next level ones, like attempted
This
murder.
is a good frame right here for you.
Yeah. Oh, do you want me to? Can you see the muscles? Been working really hard on those.
Yeah, show off the biceps. I've been getting into making my own tie-dye shirts.
Dude, I was gonna ask you about that.
This is a CrossFit shirt, believe it or not.
Okay.
And then it got retired and turned into my first attempt at tie-dye.
Dope. There's a dude on TikTok that if I find it, I'll send it to you.
Is
It's
it
insane?
like
stuff.
Dyes and Good Vibes or something like that?
Maybe I gotta look that up.
I found
like Mandela's and like
yes, they're crazy.
hours.
He says like 13 hours, like
Yeah.
24 hours to make one shirt.
Yep, that's the guy.
Auctions them off like $1,000
For one shirt.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have to go check out his Instagram DMs when you post them.
Yeah, I've always thought about messaging him because I'm just curious how much money they go for.
Oh, if you look in his when he does an auction, you'll see it for. I think the highest one I saw was $950, which is still low for how
Right.
nice they are.
They're insane. They're art.
They're 100% art. He's getting into like Pokemon a little too much, I think.
Oh,
Maybe,
is he?
but there's definitely Pokemon
Okay.
people out there that would love
Yeah,
it.
I'm one.
Yeah.
I'm more card collecting than
Okay. So like, maybe like that's
wearing it.
that's the niche then.
Yep.
But so like the Pokemon
That's
people that have
fair.
a lot of money.
They
I like the artwork ones, the Mandelas and
yeah. I know there is. I'm just not that guy.
Yeah.
I love collecting the artwork and the cards.
Okay.
Because there's crazy money in the cards. Holy cow! Me and my buddies collect, and we're actually going to meet up this weekend and talk about all of our cards. We have one card right now, raw, not graded, that's going for over $480. A piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
Nuts. But I know there's quite a few people that I don't know. I just don't want to wear. I mean, I wear goofy stuff in public.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just can't bring myself to wear Pokemon. I don't know.
It's understandable.
I
Well,
like
I
it,
think
but-
that's like buying one of his shirts. If you buy like one of the auctions, I think you special
wear it?
occasion
It has to be a
or
special
like
occasion.
hang it up.
Can you imagine staining it?
No,
Dropping a spaghetti sauce on it?
for $1,000 shirt.
$1,000 shirt.
No, that'd be nuts.
God, I just want one just to hang up, like you said.
Mm-hmm.
You know how good it would look on like a brown hanger hanging from like with a cement background?
100%. Yeah.
That would look nice.
When I first came in here, I thought this was actual cement.
It's not?
You know, it's wallpaper. It's pretty sick.
Legit thought it was cement.
Yeah.
I want that wallpaper. That's sick.
It's only like $200.
That's not bad.
No, not at all.
To make it look that cool?
Yeah.
Like legit. It even has like someone like keyed initials in it almost. That square right there.
But it repeats, like right over here somewhere.
Yep.
So you can tell that it is wallpaper.
Okay. But if you had a small wall,
Yeah.
and if you flipped it upside down, maybe
Any last
change it
words?
up. Buy right foot socks.
There we go. I appreciate you coming on, Joe.
I had a blast, dude.
Yeah, we'll have to do it again.
Please.
Sweet.
You'll come on my podcast whenever I have one.
There we go. That was another great episode with Joe. Joe was great to discuss all things being an entrepreneur, a journey of how he got to where he is, but then ultimately just kind of hear about his story. He has a great why. He has an awesome business theme. And I think he's going to go great places here in Fargo. It was very refreshing to hear about how Fargo has supported him as an entrepreneur and where he expects to take his business. Make sure you go on, buy some of his socks. I think he'll definitely appreciate it, or I know he'll appreciate it. But also be looking forward to some shirts coming out soon from What's Your Why podcast. And if you guys like the podcast, give it a share, give it a rating. I appreciate you guys coming back. If it's not a 5-star rating, unfortunately, I don't really want it, but give me a 5-star. Appreciate it. Thanks. Come back next week.